Welcome to Anish News Capsule 9th edition. This is Alia Siddiqui. India is at the doorstep of economic recovery. RBI Governor. India is at the doorstep of economic recovery after a record contraction as monetary and fiscal policies moved in tandem. But the government has to spell out a roadmap on how it would get back to fiscal prudence post-pandemic, said RBI Governor Shashikant Das, who is battling a bond market agitated over state borrowings. The RBI board also held a meeting to take stocks of the economic situation. I think once there is containment of the pandemic, the government will certainly have to spell out a fiscal roadmap to adhere to the debt to GDP target that Mr. Singh and his Committee of Financial Report and Budget Management have set out. Das was talking at the virtual book launch of Portraits of Power written by N.K. Singh. India OTT market to be 6th largest in 24. A media and entertainment report released on Thursday by PricewaterhouseCoopers says the over-the-top market in India will surpass that of South Korea, Germany and Australia to become the 6th largest by 2024. India is already the fastest growing market in the world, expanding at a compound annual growth rate of 28.6%. Mobile phones will be the primary driver of revenue in the internet advertising market due to increase in data affordability. New mobile first formats and availability to measure the target audience. Jet Airways need $4 billion to secure its future in skies. Jet Airways will need $1 billion initial working capital, followed by $3 billion over the course of 5 to 7 years before the airline can break even. It needs to be seen whether the bidders can bankroll these expenses. After staying grounded for 18 months, there's a sudden ray of hope for Jet Airways. A resolution plan submitted by a consortium of UK-based Calrock Capital and UAE-based Murari Lal Jalan has recently been approved by Jet Committee of Creditors by the majority of votes. Though the details of the plans have not been disclosed publicly, there are reports that lenders will be taking a haircut on their dues as the consortium has offered a payout of some Rs 866 crores. As per the reports, the resolution professional for Jet Airways received claim of Rs 40,000 crores from different creditors, out of which Rs 15,525 crores were approved. With just about Rs 866 crore on offer, creditors will have to write off a significant part of their debt unless there are plans by new owners to offer equity to the creditors in the new company. Recovery in job market. As per the Employment Provident Fund Organization data, at least 10 lakh jobs were added in August 2020. Nearly 9.3 lakhs new members joined the ACIC run Social Security Scheme, while nearly 6.7 lakh new subscribers joined Employers Provident Fund Scheme in August 2020. The number of new members in both schemes has significantly surged over the previous month. In July, nearly 7.5 lakh new members joined ACIC, while around 6.5 lakh new subscribers joined the EPF scheme, according to the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Taking together the new entrants and those who exited but returned, the new addition in EPF subscribers were nearly 10 lakh in August after factoring out those who left. Government keen to resurrect in Air India. In a bid of resurrect Air India privatization, the government is planning to give flexibility to potential investors to decide on the humongous step with the national carrier, a top official has said. The flexibility to potential investors on the quantum of rupees 60,074 crore debt that they want to absorb will replace the current condition of the buyer, taking over more than a third of the debt and transferring the rest to a special purpose vehicle. Department of Investment and Public Asset Management Secretary Tuhin Kanta Pandey said. E-com Bazaar for artisans soon. In a major fillip to the artisans in India, the Ministry of Textile is planning to launch an e-commerce portal for artisans and rural weavers across India to showcase their traditional crafts. The idea is to make the artisans sell their craft directly without the intervention of middlemen. India Post will take care of the logistic, while the Ministry of Electronics and IT's network of nearly 40,000 common service centers will help artisans accurately photograph, upload and pack their products. HDFC Bank books profit in Q2. HDFC Bank on Saturday reported an 18.4% year-on-year rise in standalone net profit of rupees 7,513.10 crores for the September quarter. The private lender had reported a profit of rupees 6,344.99 crore in the year-ago quarter. Analysts at an ET Now poll had projected profit figure at rupees 6,445 crores. Net interest income, which is the difference between the interest income a bank earns from its lending activities and the interest it pays to depositors, rose 16.7% to rupees 15,776.40 crore from rupees 13,515 crores in the year-ago quarter. Core net interest margin came in at 4.1%. The government is veering towards the view that exiting a public sector bank should be total when it is privatized. To make the sale attractive, however, the government wants the Reserve Bank of India to relax the rules on ownership in private sector banks. A top government source said there had been intense discussion among the Prime Minister's office, the Finance Ministry, and the RBI on what level of stake should be retained. Smartphone market hits record 50 MN units in Q3. The smartphone market segment in India rebounded after the lockdown to touch an all-time high of 50 billion units in September quarter, with Chinese companies collectively holding 76% market share, according to the research firm Canalys. Cyber threat to companies on the rise. Companies in India are seeing a significant increase in the cybersecurity challenges they face amid the shift to mass remote working. A new study by Cisco shows, according to the study, 73% of the organizations in the country have experienced a 25% or more jump in either cyber threats or alerts since the start of COVID-19. Cisco's Future of Secure Remote Work report revealed Indian organizations unprepared to make the accelerated transition to a remote workforce at the outset of the pandemic. About two-thirds, that is the 65% of the organization, adopted cybersecurity measures during COVID-19 to support remote working. That's all for today's news. Thank you.